Good evening, fuckers. We're back with, the next Train Simulator Classic request video. And when you take a look at the line and route we're on, you can probably have a pretty safe guess as to who it was that requested this one. And yeah, you would be right, it was JimJimPlays. So we are once again on the Portsmouth Direct Line, and we are once again going from Portsmouth Harbour to London Waterloo. So we are doing the full length of the route. I think this is about the third time I've done this one now, but this one is quite different. You would imagine that it's going to be pretty straightforward, but once you take a sort of closer look at this setup, you'll realise it's probably going to be anything but. So the train is a 4-car class 422, the old 4 big. It is a 4-car because it's the only consist that I've got, and it takes ages for my game to load up. If I'm gonna, make a custom consist for this thing, so yeah, I'll stick with the one that I've got. So that's all the easy, straightforward stuff. Yeah, no problem. And then you take a look at the specifics. Okay, the fact that it's 1 o'clock, yeah, not a problem, but it is winter and it is cloudy snow as far as weather is concerned. Which means I am, well, it is snowing. It's not really a blizzard, but it looks like one when you're driving a train that's doing about 70 to 80 miles per hour. It also means that visibility is going to be abysmal. So hopefully it will still look okay in the video. This is actually one of those rare occasions where I would actually find this easier to do if it was a nighttime one, because then the light from the signals that I'm approaching, I'm able to see them further away because they, obviously illuminate better in the dark. Because this is in broad daylight, I'm going to have to be closer to the signals before I can actually see them, and yeah, well, with visibility as low as it is going to be, let's just hope we have a lot of green signals ahead of us. So this is going to be a semi-fast service, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stops ahead of us. That's including the terminus at London Waterloo. Well, the stops are Portsmouth and Southsea, Fratton, Havant, Petersfield, Hazelmere, Godalming, Guildford, Woking, Clapham Junction, and then Waterloo itself. So, yeah, we're certainly in for the long haul on this one, I think. So, let's get things underway. Well, here we are at Portsmouth Harbour, and yep, it certainly is snowing. So let's get our train sorted out. That is all there is to it. Right, now we'll open doors. I don't know if there are many people who are going to get off, but I did see at least one person get on. I mean, driving these trains in this sort of weather, this is when train drivers really did earn their fucking pay. I mean, cab heating in these sort of, you know, 70s, in fact I think this EMU probably started in the 60s. So yeah, 60s, 70s EMUs. Cab heating was, to put it mildly, rather rudimentary. And yeah, it was fucking freezing in here. Yeah, there's no instrument lights. So 15 mph limit as we pull away. Now at the moment we don't need the old windscreen wipers going, but I'm sure we will do fairly soon. As it is Portsmouth and Southsea, the first stop is, yeah, half a mile away. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be long before we got to it. I didn't realise it was that close. So now in a 20 mile per hour zone. Significantly more modern 377 there. Okay, let's get the very slow windscreen wiper underway. So now in a 40 mph zone, but I don't want to pick up too much speed because, yeah, we're going to be braking for this first station. And I suspect I'm going to have to be braking fairly gently at every stop, as it is. Yeah, okay, right now, but yeah, we are somewhat crawling along here, but I mean, it's going to be wheel slip a go-go. I'm going to turn it off because the noise that thing makes is rather irritating. It looks like it's put us, yeah, on platform 1, right over to the side, so I don't think we are in the sheltered part. We are approaching it now. Well, I'll wait till we're actually in that sheltered bit before we stop, so at least we are out of the snow somewhat. There we go. So here we are at platform 1, Portsmouth, or Portsmouth and Southsea if you want to be really specific. The next stop is Fratton, and that is not too far away either. I think it's barely a mile from here. Alright. away we go. This is not going to be one of those occasions where I put the throttle straight into 100%. So yeah, there you go, Fratton is less than 2/3 of a mile away. So these first few, oh Christ, we're going downhill. Brakes are very, very slow to kick in. Why are the brakes not doing anything? There we go. Although now I'm in a 25 mph section, so I didn't need them, but yeah, these brakes, I clearly, yeah, I've got to watch how hard I apply them. Applying them too hard and they don't do anything. Not what I want to really see happening when I'm driving a train in, yeah, in the middle of a bloody great snowstorm. So we are now in, yeah, we are now in a 40 mph section. I'm put a bit more speed on, but I don't want to put a hell of a lot more on. For obvious reasons, we are fast approaching Fratton station. The temptation for me is to always try and rush it and sort of like, you know, bump my speed up, but I really can't do it not in this weather. So our 4-car train, 3 of the cars are actually powered. So we've got somewhere in the region of 750 horsepower, I think. So we're certainly going to be able to shift. We just got to make sure that yeah, we keep the old wheel slip to an absolute minimum. You can see how bad the visibility is just from these outdoor shots here. Right, away we go again. So next stop is Havant. We will be off Portsea Island by then, so I think we've got a reasonable gap before we are having to stop for there. We have some pretty good speed increases coming up as well to 80 and 85. Yeah, so we are just entering the 80 mph section now. Now we can do 80. Let's see. Yeah, no wheel slip. Not entirely sure if this train can actually do 85 mph, but we'll certainly give it a go. So Hillsey is the next station. We will not be stopping there. Yeah, there's your visibility. So speed is decreasing to 80, which is fine. We haven't even hit 70 yet. But after Hillsey it goes down to 50. But only for a very short distance, and then it is back to 85 again. That is the warning for the speed reduction, and considering the icy rails and that, I'm amazed we were able to brake this hard actually. So we are going through Hillsey station, but yeah, I'm having to keep my eye on the braking and that, so we couldn't get an exterior shot of there. But yeah, we were absolutely fine as far as getting the speed down. More than fine. Oh, and I've let the speed go up too high. There we go. So that's, yeah, where the route there tails off. I'm assuming that is the route that takes you to Southampton. So yeah, I don't really know this route particularly well, and as always, you know who could tell you much more about this route than I can. So 60 mph speed reduction coming up just before Bedhampton station. Again, we are not stopping there. Close to towards it a bit before start applying brakes. I mean, I certainly don't need to start applying them yet, but I think in this weather the less braking I need to do the better. So Havant is coming up in, well, a little over half a mile after Bedhampton, and Havant is our next stop. Yeah, that coasting actually didn't do too badly. We lost a reasonable amount of speed there. Yeah, it's just keep coasting for a bit, because we've got to then go down to 40. In fact, we got to stop, so... Here is Bedhampton, which we are just going to be going straight through. There we go, so we're fine on the old speed front. quite a good sized station, this one. Havant is obviously more of a major sort of town, or at least a major railway station than I thought it was. Oh, okay, here we go again. Right. It would seem that braking in the 422 is not my strong point. Anyway, here we are at Havant Station. Would say have a look around, but it's difficult to see too much. Anyway, it was only a short stop. Let's get back underway. So our next stop is Petersfield. I don't know if that is the next station. Ultra modern 444. I bet most of the passengers on this train were wishing they were on one of those. So we're entering an 85 mph section. We're now in it. Let's get some speed up. Not even a mile and a half though before we've got to slow down to 70, so I'll probably treat this section as 70. We're also starting to reach a fairly steep uphill gradient, so now we'll really see just how much traction we are losing on these icy rails. Speed is absolutely plummeting once I put it in the coast. We can even start picking up speed again. So Rowlands Castle is the next station, which we will just be going straight through. I have it on good authority that there isn't actually a castle there. So I can only assume it was the site of a castle. Probably came down around the same time as the New Forest went up. God dear, taking this corner in this weather at over 60 mph, I imagine a few drivers sort of not liking that too much. Right, so we're into an 85, but we're not in it for very long before it goes down to 75, so we will treat it as 75 right from the off. then speed absolutely plummets once we go into coast. But we do need the speed to come down. I mean, we are on a 1 in 110 uphill climb. In this weather, it's no wonder the speed's really dropping off. But yeah, we've got a 60 mph section coming up anyway, so the fact that our speed is dropping off that quickly is not really a problem. I'd rather it didn't continue dropping too far below 60 though. So this train has the same sort of throttle system as the Class 483, the Isle of Wight train, insofar as whatever notch you put it into, let's say we're now in notch 3, if you drop it down, it will stay actually giving, providing power at notch 3 rate, and it's only when you actually turn it to 0 off that it actually reduces it. By which I mean, of course, that yeah, it stops adding power to the wheels altogether. So you've already lost 6 miles an hour. So now I put it into 100. None of the notches below are going to alter it in any way until I put it back into 0 again. I don't actually mind this control system. It's alright. I mean, like so many others, it's a matter of getting used to it, but yeah, I do quite like it. It does mean that once you reach certain speeds, the only way you are going to actually gain any additional speed is to put it straight into full power, straight into 100% again. So you are constantly sort of, notching way up to 100% and then cutting the power completely. And nothing in between is going to do anything. So we have 40 mph section coming up as we enter the tunnel. It goes up to 70 once we exit it. That tunnel is going through, well yeah, it's on downhill section as we are obviously clearly traversing the South Downs. I mean, we're now on a 1 in 80 uphill. Our acceleration though is not bad for a train as old as this in this weather going uphill. But there's no doubt about it, we will have to brake to get it down to 40, at least I'm fairly certain we will have to. Yeah, especially as it's now levelled out, so so we're now fine, but we are now about to go on to a downhill section. So are we going to start picking up speed? So it's 1 in 154. Speed is still not increasing. Probably would if we were even vaguely more steep than this. so we've entered a 70, and very soon, there we go, we can now go up to take it up to 70. In less than half a mile we can take it up to 85, and I have a feeling we will be able to do 85 in this thing if we were able to stay at it long enough. So this 85 section is very short, so we'll treat it as an 80 right from the get-go. We're in the 85 zone now, but yeah, the 80 zone is just over half a mile away. So, and Petersfield station is coming up in a mile and a half, which is our next stop. So we are now in the 80 zone. I'm going to start to yeah, just coast. In fact, because I've got to put the brakes on so bloody sort of easy, you know, 26, I can't really apply too much harder than that. So I've started braking way earlier than even I would. Braked a little early there, but oh well. So here we are at Petersfield. Yeah, again the we do not have much in the way of view. Just can't see too far at all. So at least with us having an 80 mph limit as soon as we are pulling away from the station, gives us a chance to just, yeah, stick it straight in a 100%, let the speed properly build up. We could even get fairly close to 80 by the time we reach the 85 mph limit. So speed limit goes down in a mile to 80. I'm fairly confident we can make that. So this is the next station. We are not stopping there. Our next stop is Haslemere. I'm fairly sure Haslemere is in Surrey. I think we will have come out of Hampshire by then. So yeah, we're going to actually have to slow down. So I'll tell you what, this old crate ain't too shabby at all. Now, yeah, we are definitely going to have to put it full throttle to get any kind of acceleration back. Yeah. Very limited visibility, I'm afraid. So we are through Liss station. Still decelerating. I can see why. We're on a 1 in 80 uphill section here. So with 100% throttle, I mean, we have reduced the rate at which our speed is dropping, but that's all we are doing. Another 444. Okay, so ground is now level, so we are now picking up speed. Let's see if we can get to 85. We're at 80. Liphook is the next station. Again, we are just going straight through there. There we are, 85 mph. In fact, I've now got to coast a bit. Okay, that's enough coasting. Let's see, oh, we're in the first class area here, are we? It looks like we're only going to see the first class. So here is Liphook Station. Oh, that was Liphook Station. not think we would be shooting through any stations at nearly 85 mph on this run. So again, I'm going to start coasting. We only really need to let it go down to 80 again before start accelerating. And we're now on a 1 in 123 uphill section, and that is, yeah, we are actually still losing speed at a very slow rate, but yeah, our speed is going down. So Hazelmere station is the next next station along the line. We will be stopping there. In fact, if we coast now while we are still going uphill on a 1 in 123, that should hopefully reduce the amount of braking we need to do. No, it hasn't really. It's now 1 in 100 uphill, but it is about to level out any second. Okay, no, it's not going to level out any second. And now we are heading downhill. And yeah, our speed was, or had just started going up there. And is continuing to climb. Yeah, we're now on a 1 in 80 downhill section, so yeah, I think this is a very good place to stop for this station here. So yeah, here we are at Hazelmere. Yeah, okay, another fairly short stop. So our next stop is Godalming, and if Hazelmere is not in Surrey, then I know for a fact Godalming is. I've been there. What I don't know is how far Hazelmere how far Hazelmere is from Godalming. Jesus, this is steep. So yeah, 1 in 80. This goes on for quite a while. I don't think I really want to be continuing to throttle up. I'm just going to let this gradient increase our speed. I'm amazed at how slowly our speed is going up. I thought it would be a lot faster than that. So Whitley is the next station. We are not stopping there. Now this 80 or 1 in 80 down the hill gradient is about to end, and then we're going back uphill again. So now we definitely want to throttle up. 1 in 110, we should, yeah, we are still increasing speed, so that's alright. Yep, here is Whitley Station. Well, it's not completely no frills station, but yeah, nothing particularly remarkable about it. So now we're back on a downhill gradient, 1 in 82. We'll coast this. I can't believe this, we are actually losing speed by coasting. Okay. Go back to accelerating then. So Milford is the next station with a speed limit of 80 just as we approach it. I'm not going to bother increasing the speed again because we've got a 60 section after this, so we'll just carry on coasting. So there is Milford, another rather unremarkable station. But Godalming is the next station and the next stop. Yep, don't even need to brake for the 60 mph zone. In fact, we're well below it. So the distance between Godalming and Farncombe station is ridiculously small. It's less than a mile. Thankfully we are not stopping at Farncombe. Can't imagine there are many trains that do. So here we are at Godalming. Another fairly short stop. So next stop is Guildford. Next station, as we've seen, is Farncombe, but we are just going straight through that. Somehow I doubt that 70 mph limit as we approach Farncombe station is going to be much of an issue. I mean, alright, we're on a 60 anyway, so it's actually a speed increase. But it certainly looks like I don't have to drive anything like as conservatively as I have been. This thing has great traction on these icy rails. But I am going to have to stop throttling up. I had a coaster a bit there. So here is Farncombe station. There's a bit more to it than some. It's quite a long old platform actually, for really did look like a very minor station indeed. So we're now in an 85 zone, but not for very long. We're down again to 75 in just over a mile and a half. We'll just treat this stretch as a 75 zone altogether. Guildford must be coming up. So we have a 25 mph. I think that's where we are going over the points where this line joins another one. I'm not sure which one. Might be the Brighton line. What am I doing? We're fucking nowhere near it. Fairly short tunnel, and there's a somewhat longer one. We need to be doing less than 25, or no more than 25 by the time we reach the end of it. Right. Looks like a 455 going past. So, speed wise we are now fine. In fact, we are way more than fine. Okay, well it doesn't look like we changed the line we were on here, so I don't know why that 25 mph limit was there. So here we are at Guildford. Can't really see much of it, but yeah, take it from me, it is out there. Another short stop. So next stop is Woking. We're now in an 85 zone. We certainly know this train is capable of doing that speed. I think we've got a reasonable chance of reaching it as well. I don't think Woking is that close to Guildford. In fact, we even have a 90 mph section coming up. Can we do 90 in this thing? I wouldn't be at all surprised if we could. Oh well, oh, that's alright. So Worplesdon's the next station. I saw WO and I thought, okay, so much for that. So yeah, I'm having to throttle down. Made it well past 85. I think this thing could do 90. We're very soon going to get the chance to find out. So we are in the 90 zone now. Worplesdon train station is about to emerge. There it is. Yeah, that was really forgettable. Oh, bollocks. We've got a 40 mph section coming up. So we're up to 87. I'm sure this thing could do 90. We are going to have to start braking fairly soon. In fact, we're now losing speed. We are on an uphill section, one in 152, and here is a Woking station. Not as far from Guildford as I thought. Well, once we leave Woking, the maximum speed goes up to 90. I don't think we're going to be doing... actually, no, speed doesn't go up to 90. Speed goes up to 100. I really don't think we are going to be making, yeah, three-figure speeds in this. 90, I think, is certainly doable, but 100, no. So, well, this certainly looks like we are joining a properly major line. So the speed has actually gone back up to 90 again now that we've joined this main line. It was not indicated on the HUD as it is. We're still approaching Woking station, so there is certainly no point in increasing speed now. So, Woking station. Yeah, Woking is out there somewhere. Again, another short stop. So, next stop is Clapham Junction. Pretty sure we have other stations that we'll be passing through before we reach there. And the fact that Clapham Junction is the penultimate stop and London Waterloo is still 24 miles away, so yes, there are still plenty of other stations that we are going to be going through. Well, our attempt to get to 95 is going to be hampered again. It seems ridiculous saying that, yeah, we're going to be hampered by this 90 mph speed limit. As it is, I'll be happy if we can get to 90. We haven't managed it yet. We did get close. Was it 87.5, somewhere around there? No idea what station this is. We've been put onto the avoiding line. So yeah, there we go, into the 90 zone. it looks like on level ground 86 is very close to our absolute limit. We are still accelerating, but the rate has really come down. We're now on a very slight uphill gradient, but that is very likely to be enough to halt any additional acceleration. No, station, I have no idea which one. Speed hasn't moved at all from 86.1 for quite some time now, so this is definitely us tops, unless we are on downhill gradient. There is one coming up, but it's so slight it's probably not going to make any difference. We are going to have to lose some speed in a minute, but not a hell of a lot. 1.1 mph. In fact, if we lose 0.2, that will still be fine. Another station, I have no idea which one it is. So if this is Hampton Court Junction coming up, then we must be at least like fairly close to like Kingston or something. So we are in the 85 zone. It is going down now again to 80 as we Then approach Surbiton station, which we are not stopping at. Let the speed drop down to 75 and then yeah, we'll throttle up again. Fairly sure after Surbiton the next stop is Clapham Junction. The next station, I was to say, I mean yeah, we know the next stop is going to be Clapham Junction. That's why I'm sort of coasting with this along. There, if I press the right button. Oh. Speed up again a little bit. I've almost started to get actually used to this limited visibility. I'm able to see the signals from further away than I was when I started this run. A lot of signals in fairly quick succession, which does suggest that Clapham Junction is not too far away at all now. Okay, so we are not as close as I thought. We've still got Wimbledon to go through. Okay, we can speed up a bit again then. Can't for life of me see what this station is. Yeah, we're too far away from it to see here. We're certainly not going to be trying to stop at old Durnsford Road staff halt. basically as soon as we emerge from this admittedly very short tunnel, we are at Wimbledon station. There we are. Here is the staff halt, basically a few planks of wood nailed together. Here comes Clapham Junction. So 1.5 miles. Ooh. And that's me not paying attention to the speed. I don't think we're going to be able to just coast down this speed difference, the 40 mph as we approach the station. Needed to brake a bit harder than I did there. So here we are at Clapham Junction, now the second busiest station in the UK. Nevertheless, peak times, you got something like 170 trains coming through here every hour, which is not a bad amount for yeah, the second busiest station. Right, so that was our penultimate stop. The next one is the terminus itself, London Waterloo, and it is just under 4 miles away. Into the 70 zone, 60 zone. Yeah, with the amount of stuff being rendered around here, plus the snow, the frames per second is likely to take a bit of a hit around here. Vauxhall station coming up in 1.5 miles, and Waterloo is the next station after that. It's not that far from there either. Speed up a little bit. May need to brake a little bit as we go through Vauxhall, or just as we're approaching it. So here is Vauxhall station. See, all the London buildings and all that are all still being rendered, but yeah, because of the weather, we can't see any of them. green here, the next signal should be double yellow. Looks like the next signal's actually green. I don't know why that is. Yeah. It really should have been double yellow. Looks like the next signal is double yellow. In fact, it looks single yellow. So we're into the 15 mph section now. Last few hundred yards. The entrance to Waterloo is one of the few London terminuses where it's nice and flat all the way. So here we are at Waterloo at platform 12. We are actually sheltered out of the snow once more. I think there's still space there, but there we go. That's not bad. So yeah, here we are then, London Waterloo from Portsmouth Harbour, in the middle of a bloody great snowstorm. Yeah, that was a pretty good run, that. The loco, the old 422, is great. It really is a good EMU to drive. And the weather certainly did change the handling of things, but I actually don't think I needed to drive it quite as conservatively as I did. Yeah, I think maybe some career scenarios in the snow for a bit of practice there, but I mean, operational errors 3, I'm quite okay with that. They were all, again, me not paying attention, and yeah, in those conditions I was expecting it to be far more than that, but yeah, 3 speeding errors on a distance of just shy of 75 miles, so yeah, at, you know, averaging one speeding error every 25 miles, I'll take, certainly. So there we go. Portsmouth Harbour to London Waterloo. Good run that, even in the really shitty weather. So that is that one done, and we will see you at the next one.